That's cheap. That's working now.
Is the Facebook working now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
And
Cool.
YouTube.
YouTube is working as well, yeah?
Yep.
Sweet. Sorry about that, guys, with the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened then. So, good evening and welcome to episode 80 of Endless Banter, the beginning of 2020, the first episode of 2020. So, Mr. Paulson is not here today because it is his birthday, so I've brought some beautiful people to join me. Today, I've got the wonderful man mystery. I've got Mr. the Vape Man Dave Photos. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I've also got the man who decided. In his red room that is mistaken with pink.
Purple.
Definitely pink.
It's my feminine side.
It's definitely pink.
I'm not afraid.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to lie, right? Before we get into anything, I actually do like it because I think it does add a bit of something. It's not dull. Like, we're all in dull, dark backgrounds, and Dave's like got this bright, vibrant pink.
Do you know what? Nearly every reviewer has either got a green screen or it's all painted white. I was like,
pink, man. I like it. I do like it. I'm not even going to lie. So with Dave, we're also with somebody who looks like he's in a dungeon. It's Mr. Kevin Lester. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
We're also with the very outspoken, very truthful Nicky Fraser. Good evening, Nicky.
Good evening.
Nicky's like, shut you dickhead. And good evening to everybody who's joined us tonight. So as I say, Paul's not with us tonight, but we've got the show must go on as they say. We've got some giveaways to do tonight. We are giving away a mod set. I've not decided what mod set we're giving away tonight from Endless Mod UK, but I'll give some away later on. And we've also got up to 10 tickets for the Vapor Expo London. If you are going or you wanting to go, you can enter. If you want to give it to friends or whatever, you can enter. I can give away up to 10 tickets tonight. 10, 2, 4, 6, whatever we feel like we'll give away. So let's start tonight with boys. Start with Dave. How's your week been? Well, how's your start of 2020 been? What you have for tea? What you vaping? And how is everything?
2020 has already been mental so far. Just dealing with loads of different stuff. Tea. I forgot. Some chicken bits and chips. What I'm on, I've got loads of different random stuff on the desk. Dirtier. I've got a cleaner set up and a couple of pod systems.
Nicky, you're smiling there, loving life, mate. How's your week been? Nice, peace and quiet. Well, I'd say predominantly peace and quiet. What you vaping and what have you had for tea? And you're probably going to tell me about fuck all for tea.
Green Cleaner, Dead Rabbit V2 with some Sublime, and the Q Pro with Blackjack Vampire Vaping. I've had fuck all for my tea.
That doesn't surprise me for you. Just a bottle, bro.
Yeah, man. And the year's actually so far has not been too bad. It'll be even better next year again. No, fucking shit blowing up and fucking breaking, but that's fucking usual, isn't it? Just after Christmas.
It's always the case, mate. Always the case. Kev, give us a smile. How's your week been? What have you broken? What are you vaping? What are you having for tea?
What I've had for tea, nothing as of yet. Drinking, did you say? Apple Lucasade. And I'm vaping on my Delro billet style lipo mod.
Delro? Is that what it's called?
It's called Delro.
The Delro.
Yes.
Sounds like a retarded sex toy.
It's a DNA 7.
It sounds like somebody I bunked up with and I got locked up. I'm kidding, I never got locked up.
DNA 75 Burrow style device.
Oh, nice.
Coming soon from
You are.
K&R Vapor, some bridges for
Maybe.
Right,
That's
so
I've
before we
already
get
got
into
prototype.
that's it. We know Kev. We know Kev. We won't ask him either. So let's get into sort of what's been going on. What's the first thing I'm going to jump into? We're going to jump back into a little bit of 2019 before we go anywhere else. I want to know from you guys, what was the most memorable moment in 2019? Whether it for vaping, what was your most memorable moment last year? So we're starting a fresh new year. We're eight days in. What can you remember the most? What was most memorable for last year? And also, what was not most memorable for good? What was also memorable for bad? We're getting straight into it. Kev, I'm starting with you, mate, because you're the one like that. Tick, 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 tick.
Well, that's an obvious comment, isn't it? Put me on the spot as always, Tom.
No worries, mate.
Most memorable. I've got to say, for me, the most memorable for good would be the start of my new venture in the industry. That will be the first and foremost what sticks in my head. Obviously, a lot of hard work and everything else, but it does pay off eventually. With the bad side of it, in the industry, with coming up just before Christmas, where there was a lot of the flavour bans due to dual devices being targeted at children and everything else, as that could have such a knock-on effect to the industry itself.
No, I think that was a massive downfall last year. I think the whole child epidemic of it being aimed at kids. But do you not feel like we've had that brush for a while though, with it sort of people saying, "Oh, kids this, kids that," because it's the
we have,
cool
yes,
thing.
we have, yes, but it became more of an epidemic with a certain
America.
company. Yeah, it was a certain company. Obviously, a lot of the advertising was done to the younger generation, and obviously, you know as well as me, a lot of what happened in America does pass through a lot of other countries, states, and everything else. So altogether, it can eventually have a knock-on effect as I think 2020 goes along.
Yeah, I think 2020 itself is going to have a massive sort of. I think it's going to end sort of the unknown, especially in the States.
Yes.
You know, now 2020 is going to be the year where sort of the regulations or the bans are going to start coming in, and that's where we're going to sort of realise what is actually going on. Because I'll be quite honest, when I look through the news now, and if you guys probably know exactly the same, when you look through the news, not normal BBC news, I'm talking vaping news, there's never sort of any news to do with the UK and the UK regulations, because we're sort of like this at the minute. But in the States, for some reason, they just like to go like this. So there's always news about the States. I feel like we're at a point now where we're just like grinding it out, and we're not sort of being attacked by legislation and banning and stuff like that. But I feel like the States they don't know what the next thing is and when it's going to happen and stuff like that. Because, like before the new year, we were sort of seeing these photos of pack of cigs next to shelves that says can no longer sell vaping products. You know what I mean? So it's kind of all like up in the air. So,
and also,
no,
also seeing posters in vape shop windows in America where they were forced to put posters in the windows saying vaping kills and that sort of stuff. What I think is totally out of order for basically the American government to do that to the people who own the shops.
Yeah, once it just the thing of it all comes down to money. But for me personally, I feel like they don't give two shits about if it's family-run business and stuff like that. It's all about what it is, and there's nothing really anybody can do about it. Like where Leon lives, who owns HD&E, now known as LD&E, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
He obviously had to shut his doors overnight. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we're not going to see that in the UK. I really don't feel like that's a possibility because of all the positives that are said in the UK now. There's not really that much negativity it's just ignorance rather than negativity.
Yeah, that's correct.
You know, so that's a massive plus for us. But obviously, you know, people, as you say, people in different countries follow the step of what the state's doing because it's as big as it is.
Yeah. Also, obviously, a lot of people believe what they read. Unfortunately, a lot of newspaper articles and news feeds and everything owned by well-known companies, and obviously they can feed whatever they want to people, make them believe what they want. So obviously that can have a detrimental effect to the UK market. With obviously everything going on in America, it doesn't take too much for news articles to get out there, and then the wrong people who don't understand to read these articles, and then it comes to that stage where they're passing on bad information to people who want to vape as well.
Yeah, it's like Sam Yates just said Trump would rather target Iran than vaping at the minute, so they're all good in the States. But we won't get into that debate.
No,
we won't get into that debate.
Definitely not something.
No, I feel like vaping is definitely a back burner thing in the States, but they've still got people running shit out there that's winning legislation. I've seen a post today about online vendors getting sued in the States.
Yes.
For sending stuff into, where is it that, Leon? Is it? I want to say, is it Minnesota? Massachusetts. Eight online retailers sent flavored product into Massachusetts and then now looking to sue them.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy.
It is. It really is. And if you go into that full extent of searching every parcel, scanning every parcel and everything else, obviously they don't have any stop what they will go to. They will go to above and beyond every capability they've got to stop what they've got to stop.
Sam's just mentioned about what about the new 2020 rule? I think is it from May, the 2020 rule about banning menthol.
Menthol's been banned for a while. They're just running out what they fucking got made up, really, aren't they? I think it's
what do we feel like we're banning it for?
And
what do we feel like we're banning it for, though? What's the reasons behind banning it, though?
Well, if you ban that, there's going to be more people that fucking stop smoking because not everyone likes fucking taste a normal cigarette.
Didn't I read somewhere there was banning rolling tobacco as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, rolling tobacco and.
But the issue with that is that obviously if they ban it in tobacco form, is if they start running that through with vaping form as well.
Yeah, but the thing for me is, right, so you're banning rolling tobacco, you're banning menthol cigarettes, but you go into any tobacconist who's a traditional tobacconist will have a shitload of flavoured pipe tobacco.
That is correct.
Like the most flavours in tobacco is used in pipe tobacco, cherry, all sorts of different flavours. So how they're just going to say menthol and then just not touch any of that? That's what's amusing me, because is then that going to be affected as well?
Personally, I think
you've also got to find a fucking traditional tobacconist these days.
Yeah, there's not many.
You show me the last time you walked down the high street and found one.
There's one in Leeds at Town Street. There is one in Leeds High Street. That's truth.
That's one.
It's got a human. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, it still offers that. So, but I also believe they've got a website. So if people are after that kind of product, they will go out their way to buy that particular product. You know, you're never going to stop the cigarette lady that lives fucking 7 streets down who sells knockoff fags. You're never going to get her stopped. So how are they going to stop people buying menthol cigs? Someone's going to be able to get all the menthol cigs. It's just going down the black market route.
Well, it's stopping them across the whole of the EU. The only place you could probably get them is like fucking out the EU and America, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but you think you can get guns and fucking drugs in? I'm sure they can get menthol bastard fags in.
That is true.
For me personally, all this does, and if they do it with vaping, if they do it with tobacco, all it does is it pushes it to a black market, and then it's unregulated. So rather than having a regulated market where they know what the fuck's being sold, how it's being sold, they push it to a black market and they have no idea what it's regulated by. That's all they do, is because you're not going to stop it. Drugs have been banned for how long, and people still access them, people still die through them, people still can buy them. So no one's going to stop getting all the tobacco. So all you're doing is just unregulating it. And to me personally, I feel like that is the worst thing you can do, is get a regulated market and then just push it to a black market. So it's unregulated, but because you're still going to get people buying knockoff fags. People don't give a shit if it's £2.50 for a pack of 20. People are going to buy them.
Yeah.
Paul says there's every ass for a seat, isn't there? You know what I mean? There's a seat for every ass for it.
Yeah. So
that's a negative for me. And if you do that to vaping, that's going to have a massive knock-on effect on vaping.
110%. A lot of people find vaping a success because of the flavours. A lot of people can't stop and they enjoy the flavours, and that's what helps them convert.
Here we go. I believe they're banning menthol, click cigs, rolling tobacco, and Rizzlers and filters.
Yeah.
Rizzlers and filters?
Yeah, I read the same article the other day, yeah. Rizzlers, filters. Because if they're banning rolling tobacco, then they're going to ban the byproducts what go with it, aren't they?
No,
wow,
that's just going to fuck Theresa May's husband up because he's the biggest producer of cannabis in the UK.
I was going to say that Raw, the biggest fucking Rizzler maker in the world, is going to be absolutely fucked in the UK, in Europe. But Sam also says, I also believe the EU said they are banning menthol fags because the kids are more likely to smoke menthol than normal cigarettes. I think that's the biggest load of bullshit ever.
Well, how many of us started on menthols?
No.
I started off on Marlboro.
I only ever smoked, when I was smoking, I only ever smoked menthol when I was ill. It's the only time I ever smoked them.
Yeah, because it wasn't as scratchy as a fucking regular fag, innit?
Yeah, if you've got a bad throat, get a menthol down your neck.
That's it. I remember that. Not a scratchy. Yeah, it's fucking mayhem. Like it really, in my mind, makes no fucking sense. Not many things do, but it just doesn't make sense in my head that menthol cigarettes are attractive to fucking kids.
And if they are going down that line, then it's the same line America went down with the vaping. You know, it's basically the menthol. It's a flavour at the end of the day.
Also, there is a rumour it's only going to be four major brand fags left on the shelf, which is obvious, which is Philip Morris, because Philip Morris owns fucking 4 of them.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be Philip Morris, and then he's going to end up pumping other stuff out.
Got big pockets, already. That's the thing.
They've got it. They're in smoking. They dip their hand into the heat not burn. Now they're dipping their hand into vaping. You know what I mean? They'll dip their hand anyway. That's going to make money. Simple as.
110%.
Slim cigarettes are also under the ban. What are slim cigarettes?
It's basically a fucking pre-made rollie. For these cunts that want to smoke rollies that don't want a roll.
Ah.
They're also called cocktail cigarettes because they're thin and elegant and posh-ish.
Oh, cocktail sausages.
No, cigarettes.
I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just if we actually honestly sat here and just thought about all the shit that's sort of looks, feels, energy of being corrupt, we'd just be like, yeah, whatever. You won't fucking leave your house.
Well, you'd start off
You
with
really
the
won't
Queen.
leave your house.
She's got a fucking dodgy fucker in the family, right? And then you've got the Parliament. They're all corrupt, no matter fucking what any cunt says. And then you've got the police. They're the biggest corrupt cunts in the sun. And then everyone else.
Right.
Everyone's corrupt some way because we've all done something that's not quite legal.
I foresee the price of cigs going up to the north side of 20 quid. Would anybody, right? This is another thing. If we didn't have vaping and we were still smoking, would we pay £20 a pack for a pack of cigarettes?
What the fuck? I just get the guys that work offshore to bring them back for me.
Black market, once again. Dave, would you pay 20 quid for a pack of fags?
Nah.
Kev,
Nah.
20 quid for a
Mind
pack
you,
of
we will
fag?
follow.
I'm going to give you my personal opinion on this one. I think as a nicotine user, nicotine is obviously a drug. And if you crave that drug, you don't mind paying what you pay for it.
You just totally fucked up my rebuttal to that fucking answer to that question. My answer was going to be, would you pay 20 quid for 30 ml of juice?
That's what I'm saying. I would be happy to do that. If you're a nicotine user, and if they brought in other legislation that it's 30 quid for a 10ml bottle of juice, or 20 quid for a pack of 20 Lambert and Butler or Marlboro or whatever cigarette it is, I think if you're a nicotine user and you still want that nicotine, you would be willing to pay what you would be willing to pay.
Would it force more people to quit though, knowing it's 20 quid a pack?
I think it would force some people to quit, but out of the general consumption of people, if I brought that question to you, Tom, as a nicotine user, would you decide to stop, or would you happily just buy a bottle every now and then?
I think I'd have to have some serious discussion with myself if it would come to that. I really would. I would feel like I'd like to feel that you'd have a discussion with yourself in knowing the fact is that, yes, having nicotine is an addiction, but it's also a pleasure I enjoy.
Yeah.
It's not just a need. It's very much a want. It's a pleasure. It's a enjoyment the same way you like a bag of crisps, or you enjoy a bottle of pop, or you enjoy. Do you know what I mean? It's very much an enjoyment thing.
Yeah, 110%. But obviously, a lot of people also have not just nicotine; they have addictions of a lot of other drugs, and drugs what cost a hell of a lot more money, and people are still happily to do that because it feeds their habit of what they want it to be fed.
But then going back to the answer what I gave, thinking about it, no, I wouldn't pay that price for a packet of cigarettes, but that would guide me down the black market route.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As a
I
vapor now, looking as a vapor now, then I'd turn around and say, no, I wouldn't pay that much for cigarettes. But when I was a smoker, no, I wouldn't have paid that much, but I'd have soon found some bloke who's selling them dodgily at £2.50 a pack to go and get what I need.
Do you think though that if that, say for instance, that situation, touch wood and all that, that it never happens in vaping, do you feel like it would make a lot of people mix their own? I feel like it would. I think it would expand the DIY side of things.
Well, if you think
that's
about
what
it,
it's like in Germany.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but when the flavour ban come into America, how many Americans was you seeing posting about mixing their own juices? And a lot of them was sourcing their pre-mixing sets from the UK.
Yeah.
Now, I spoke to someone who, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Boss Shots or something like that, and they said when the flavour ban come in, they had a load of business from America, a load of it.
You see, that's the thing. I feel like it would force the country itself, people, vapors in that country, to adapt. We've adapted in vaping. Yes, we've only had to change over to short fills, but we've had to adapt into smaller tanks, smaller fucking bottles. If we do short fills, we've had to adapt in our rules. I feel like adaptation would have to be done in that way, like short fills or long fills would have to be a thing.
But it's only our country what have done the small bottles, isn't it?
Yes, but obviously in the States, they can get whatever size bottle they want. But if they're obviously banning flavours, so you're literally going to get a bottle of fucking... I don't even know if you can buy a bottle of nicotine VG. You can get whatever size bottle they want. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I can't say to you, oh, they're just selling VG on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
With nicotine in it, and then they go home and add their own flavouring. Then that just makes my mind crumble, because then I go, fuck me, I can just imagine somebody putting some cake flavour that you put in food, not in fucking e-liquid, out of Tesco, some big blue colouring in there. Oh, I'll fucking put that in, let's have some of that. That's when my mind goes, fucking hell, what disaster would be next? Because then, once again, you're pushing it down a non-regulated route for it to be black marketed, or for them to do it themselves. The minute people start mixing liquid who have no fucking clue what they're doing, then it starts becoming a big fuck.
Yeah, I do 110% know what you mean.
But do you not think that the TPD over here came in at the right time to put the regulations in before any shit that is going on in the States now could be like forced upon the UK?
Yeah.
Whereas we had all these regulations in before the Americans even fucking opened their eyes to it.
And that's why
But
we
we
haven't
must
got the shit what America's got.
Yeah, but we were self-regulating. The States weren't self-regulating. We've always been a country in vaping that's self-regulated. And when the TPD came in, we were all sort of like kind of ready for it.
Even though we were self-regulating, the regulations that the government are putting for TPD, you not think that that came in at the right time to let people actually say, hang on a minute, before all the shit in America has fucking just crumbled the industry over there?
Definitely, because then we
straight
all
over here in a matter of fucking days.
Whereas
we had
just pretty much did we have a year? Did we have a year? How long do we have a year?
Mm-hmm.
About a year, yeah.
Had a year to sort of basically like get ourselves sorted. So we had plenty of time. You look at fucking Massachusetts, they had a fucking week.
Yeah, but
so we were all like, we've got the regs. We're all going, yes, we need to get these regs sorted. Everyone's going, fucking that's going to cost us a bastard fortune. 2 weeks later, we're doing fucking short fills.
Yeah, we had the regs to actually work with, whereas America's just literally seen all the shit because it's. If you read all the fucking reports and all the articles now, it's all come out about THC and this fucking vitamin E or whatever fucking oil it is that's done it. But because of the stigma on the vaping that they focused on in the media and on the mainstream side of it, they targeted that to then say, actually, there's no regulations in the vaping over there, so anyone could be selling juice that they're making in the fucking garden garage or garden shed in a shop.
But do you think that's down to the vapor though, Nicky, or do you think that's down to the government not regulating it?
I think it's down to everyone over there, to be fair, rather than just saying, oh, it's the vapor, or oh, it's the shop owner, or oh, it's the government, because the government didn't actually say, hang on a minute, this is actually taking off, it's working. We'll actually do a bit of studying ourselves and say, well, the EU and other parties have all done these researches and studies and found this is bad for you, this is bad for you. So why the fuck are we still selling it on the shelves?
Yeah.
Why not have it all? It's got to be like in a clean room and this, that, and the other, like we've got over here. Surely that would have stopped a lot of the shit from being focused on vaping.
Yeah, definitely. If because you've got to think, as I said, about us sort of self-regulating before the rules came in, and then the rules came in, and I would say probably 95% of people were ready for them sort of rules. And if you weren't, you sort of everybody learned about the short fills, went down the short fill route, and that sort of like whatever. That's how it's going to work. I feel like we was also pushing forward for these regulations to find out where we was going to be at with so the regulations were put into place. Well, sorry, we were told before they were put into place what they were going to be. So we had time to reconcile what we needed to do to change everything. And if we needed to change this, we need to change that. We had a year, like our grandfather day, we had a year to do it. Over there, they've literally not given them any time. They're not giving them any regs. They've literally just said, you're fucking banned. See you later. Off you go. Overnight. So the companies and the vapors themselves have had no way of sort of turning around and going, we're going to get ready, but they've also not been at the front line. No, so we need to regulate this industry. We need to regulate this industry because it needs to be sorted for the people that have invested a lot of money, who know what they're doing, making it correctly. They're doing it right. So I feel like there's faults on both sides of things, but I also feel like it's unstoppable anyway. It really is unstoppable.
But if you look at 3 years ago when advocacy was ripe in America, now an advocacy post goes up and it doesn't get shared quarter of what someone's fucking post about some fucking deal on a website does.
Yeah. I feel like advocacy is not really a thing over here. I feel like there is no faces for advocacy like there used to be. There is companies that do advocacy, but I feel like there's not like back in the day, you could say Dimitri and Phil, Vaping Geek and Greek and Phil Basado were the faces of advocacy in the States, and we've never really had a face. So they've kind of like backed off the radar. Do we need to?
Yeah.
But then do we come lackadaisy?
I've been asked this question the other day.
Do we come lackadaisy though?
I think we should be doing more. I really do. I think we should be doing more to cover our own backs before the next TPD comes in, just to show the government that we are. Because our TPD, the first bit of TPD, what we've got now, I'll be honest with you, we've had it easy. Because, I mean, the 2 mil tank, we all know how to get around it. You get a bigger glass, you know what I mean? You pull the bung out, whatever. I don't mind putting a 10 mil nick shot into a bottle of juice. But what I'm thinking is, with the next stage of TPD, are our government going to start pushing things a bit harder? So do we need to get in before them and just say, look, this is under control. You know, it's fine the way it is. It's under control. We're doing fine, because the last thing I want to see is our government listen to idiots like Donald Trump, and then our country starts getting out of hand. So do we need to say more now, rather than, because I feel America was too little too late. That's where they went wrong. Do we need to start now? Because I spoke to a few people at Expo and they said the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we can't always say, oh, our government's currently concentrating on Brexit, because there's other people out there that might be sat there writing fucking recs for fucking vaping.
Oh, mate, there's going to be a whole department just for this one thing. You know what I mean? Because the government pay people SAF money for. I mean, look at a company come out about 6 months ago saying how much they was paid to change the light bulbs in Downing Street, Buckingham Palace, and the House of Commons, and it was some ridiculous amount. So you know what I mean? They've got the money to waste. So they've got 4 cunts sat in an office, sitting there going, right, we're here to deal with vaping. And they're going to want to keep their jobs. You know what I mean? So they're going to try and come up with stuff just to keep their job. They said what we need to do now is get in there now, like before the next TPD comes in. That's my view anyway.
But then I come back to it, Dave, and I think about trading standards and the way that they were meant to look over vaping. And apart from the first few weeks of TPD, when people were getting visits by trading standards, I can't remember ever seeing a report of somebody getting a visit from trading standards.
Not at all.
Because I can remember it popping up.
It still
the
does
last
happen.
one I know was 6 weeks ago, when one of these phone shops that's also a vape shop got done for selling to kids near me.
So that's a good thing. That's a massively good thing.
And
I do think
he only got
in
shocked, didn't it? Because I mentioned it to one of my mates, and he works for him. So it's like, because I said, I know for a fact I've seen kids in fucking uniforms go in and buy it, come out vaping on a fucking powered in a box. I'm not going to drop a brand because it's not right for the brand. It's not the brand that sold it to the kids. It's fucking scum that own the fucking phone shop.
Yeah. So that's a good thing for me. That's massively amazing, because then that will not necessarily. For me personally, I can't say, oh, it's going to stop everybody by getting them done. People take fines on the chin and just carry on, because if their bread and butter is to sell to kids, then their bread and butter is to sell to kids, and they'll carry on doing that whether we fucking like it or not. Do you know what I mean? But maybe it might just discourage people to actually think it's all right to do it, because we know there is a lot of pop-up shops that have, as you say, phones in one corner and vaping in the other, and fucking THC in another, and you know what I mean? There is shops out there like that, and obviously if people are getting caught in that way, I feel like that's one of the best ways to stop this child epidemic of vaping, is by going to these fucking retailers and finding out who's selling to fucking kids.
Exactly, but on the other hand, you've also got to think we know more about the legislations than fucking the people that are supposed to be enforcing them.
Yeah.
Because there's not been enough training provided for them to actually know what is legal and what's not.
I feel like
we all know bubble glasses and the extension chimneys and stuff like that are a kind of a grey area, because they do hold more than 2 mil once they're installed. But are they a grey area, or are they classed as spare parts? That's the shop that decides.
Well, I mean, if they're going to go down that road and try and regulate tanks, how are they ever going to regulate RDAs? because they ain't. I mean, you can whack as much as you want through an RDA, and no one can stop you. They said, going back to what Tom was saying, I can name twice off the top of my head, and one of them was a shady vaping shop where I've actually been in the shop. One was shady vaping, and one was a Navapo. And I was in Shady in Dudley. Bunch of kids come in, and Jay turned around straight away as soon as they got to that door and said, "How old are you?" He goes, "Oh, 18." He goes, "Mate, you don't look it. You ain't coming in." And I know 10 minutes later, I saw the same lads in one of these little pop-up mobile phone shops, and he was just dishing them juice. You know what I mean? So it just shows what the industry is like, because a proper vape shop won't even think twice. That they'll refuse them straight away. But after these pop-up shops, they don't give a damn. As long as it's a couple of quid in their pocket.
It's down to reputation, isn't it? It's down to as much as it is anything else. It's down to reputation. The minute people start knowing you're selling to kids and stuff, it's such a negative thing. It's so negative. I know we all stood outside shops fucking asking people to go into the shop for us and stuff like that. But when you actually think of a brand's reputation, and if they were to ever to be out to sell it to kids, you're done. You're massively done. But people are out there, as you say, pop-up shops, and they'll just fucking, as long as they've got that little bit of change in their till, and who gives a fuck. But you'll never stop that once again, because in black market, they go to Facebook Marketplace and buy fucking juice.
Well, at the end of the day, it's the same as cigarettes. Eh? We all know at least one shop who will sell single cigarettes to kids. You know, it's
I don't know about singles.
Oh, mate, where are you?
You just got a fucking half over back on side. Yeah, it's a quid.
Yeah.
Fucking quid 50, mate. What you on about, a quid?
Quid. See, it's all the time.
Here we go. Sam Yates says, "Do you think a license should be issued to be able to sell vape products?" That's a good question. That.
Yes, personally, yes, because it would make people actually aware of who's got a license and who's not, and then there's people that can be held accountable. They can't just say, "Oh, well, I bought the business yesterday," because they won't have the license to sell the products. So it'll stop all these pop-up shops flipping owners to get out of paying fines and debts.
I don't think it'll stop the pop-up shops, but what it will stop them doing is selling to kids, because they know that the money they make, I mean, we all know the vape industry is massive, and there can be, if you do it correctly, a lot of money to be made in it. And if they do have to have a license, they know that risking that license is a big thing for them then. You know what I mean?
It's going to cost to get a license. You're not going to get fucking not for free. To get an alcohol license or a tobacco license, you need it costs money. You can't just approach Philip Morris and say, "Can I sell you all 6, please?"
And at the end of the day, vaping is regulated over 18, which, you know, if alcohol and cigarettes, you need a license to sell because they're over 18, so should vaping.
Yeah, I think the grey area for me is that you can go into a co-op, and kids can go into a co-op and walk down an aisle that is full of alcohol that they obviously can't purchase, but they can go walk past it. It's on the shelf for them to happily just pick up. But if they want to go into a vape shop, it's over 18, and you can't actually go into a vape shop unless you're over 18. That's a kind of the shitty thing, grey area for me, is because I always think, well, it's easy enough for a kid to walk into a co-op and pick up a beer. They might not be able to buy it, but they could still have the easy access to get it. But they can't really step into a vape shop unless they're over 18. So it's kind of should alcohol not be in fucking cages? Should it not be behind the fucking tills? Because all vape products is sat behind a case, and it's not just the fact is that it's not, somebody can't just walk in, grab it off the shelf and walk off and steal it, but it's the fact that it's an over 18 product. And now in the States, it's over 21, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not even 18 anymore. You can have sex at 16, but you can't buy Call of Duty. Enjoying the fucking art. No, sorry, you can watch porn. You have sex at 16, but you can't watch porn till you're 18. You can fucking join the army at 16, but you can't watch what is it? What's the army? So you join the army at 16, but you can't play COD till you're 18.
Yeah.
You can join the army at 16, but you can't vote until you're 18.
The world's just fucked up. You can't watch porn till you're 18, but you can have sex at 16.
Yeah, but you can't buy porn until you're 18, but you can buy The Sun at 6, or the Daily Star at 6, or the Daily Sport at 6.
What's the energy drink? 16. You can't have an energy drink till you're 16 now.
There's no actual law on it, but most people will say 16 as far as I'm aware.
I think the law was passed, wasn't it?
I'm sure there's a law for 16 for energy drinks.
It was passed for 16, but again, no one really pays that much attention.
Yeah, I think it's on the back
there was a
of
law
both
passed.
hands, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a 16 warning on it, I think. But I think it's down as like ask, like challenge 25, because it used to be challenge 21, now it's challenge 25.
Yeah.
I'm sure the energy drinks comes under that. It's just everything just seems so muddled up, like the world's gone fucking mad.
Well, again, I think it's down to countries, because personally, and I really don't want to offend anyone American, but it's a very strange country. I mean, a couple of weeks back, I had to get an Asda colleague to come and clear the till because I brought cocktail sticks. God knows why. Apparently, you've got to be a certain age to buy cocktail sticks now. But in America, you can wander in Asda and buy yourself a machine gun. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I don't understand it. Mad. But each to their own,
If you look at that sort of regulation and stuff like that, and you just actually think of the different ages of shit you can do stuff, but you can't do stuff. Going back to like the army thing, you can join the army at 16, but you can't play Call of Duty till you're 18. Makes no fucking sense.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I can go have sex at 16, but I can literally not watch somebody fucking till I'm 18.
So they must have to do it with their eyes closed. Because you can do it, but you can't look. You know what I mean? Crazy.
To be fair, when you look at the fucking how it's gone recent, with that lot now, half of them you fucking need the light off anyway because you're scared of fucking all the makeup stains all over you. They must literally run through a fucking car wash to scrub that shit off.
You need the light off. Fucking hell. Right, let's get into some more vaping. Right. What are we all looking forward to in 2020? Whether it's shows, whether it's product we feel that's going to come out, more innovation, what we're looking forward to in 2020. Kev, tell me, mate, what are you looking forward to in 2020?
Why'd you have to pick on me twice?
Because just that's how it is. I'm letting the other boys. The other boys are regularly on the show, and they usually get picked on quite regularly. So, you know what I mean. We'll have you telling us what you're excited about. I'll tell you what I'm excited about. There you
go.
I'll go first. Then. What I'm excited about for 2020 is the shows. I know we've got 5 shows lined up this year, and I'm really excited for the shows. You got London. Then you've got Stuttgart, then you've got Expo Birmingham, then you've got Expo October, and then you've got Hamburg. 5 shows this year. I'm actually excited for shows. I'm actually excited. I'm honestly, and on heart, really excited to go back out to Germany because I really fucking enjoyed Germany.
So, and if Phil and Jay are watching, Big Tom's already offered to go on stage and do anything you want. He will stand on stage and do all the announcement for you.
Don't tell him that. Paul will be messaging.
I think Phil's in the chat.
Tom's on the phone. Phil's definitely on. He's already. I think he's already asked me and Paul to do something in February on the stage, which we enjoy doing anyway. So we've got to think of something new to do, and that is a question later. So that's my excitement for 2020 is traveling a bit more. So Kev, what's your excitement for 2020?
My excitement of 2020 would have been the vape shows, but you've stole that one.
Right. And also I want to say that Ian Anderson also says Kev's so laid back, he's happy about oxygen.
You've got to be laid back in life, haven't you?
Sometimes.
No, you've got to be happy with everything in life and laid back and just placid. There's no point getting miserable over everything. So I want to see what I would be happy with 2020 is a bit more innovation on products. There's a lot of devices out there that 2019 we obviously saw a lot of pod systems, and that's the way it's gone. We've lost all the days of innovation of different devices. Everything is just a pod now. So that's what I would be excited to see in 2020, a bit more innovation in product design. More
Do you think
than
we'll
anything.
expect it though? Do you think we'll expect to see? Do you think we'll see it though? I always the reason I say that, Kev, is because I always question it, mate, and I always say, what can we innovate on?
That is the difficult one. If as the market is so vast and there's a lot of companies doing product out there, all it takes is one person to do something slightly different, and it's catch on. So yeah, it's a very difficult market to try and work out innovation in what to do differently or whatever else. But I'm sure there must be something out there what is doable.
Yeah. Get your fucking brains ticking, because as soon as I start talking about innovation, my mind goes, what can we fucking do? What could we do? How do we change this? How do we change that?
But you need to be careful. You need to be careful.
Sorry, go on, Kev.
You need to be careful giving away your ideas, because it could be make you a multi-millionaire if you give someone your ideas.
Sure. Fuck you, Zuckerberg. What about you, Nicky? Then, what are you excited for 2020?
I'm looking forward to the return of Asylum.
Yeah. I think that's gonna.
And then if we get to a couple of shows this year, we get to a couple of shows. Because the original Shermans are rocking horse shit to find if you want a genuine. Because everyone's kept them.
Yeah, just definitely seeing the Asylum come back. I know that Paul's been talking to
China.
No, I think he's been talking to, because I know he's on about, he mentioned it in our live feed yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, about speaking to Oggy, who makes the Morning Star, who's the Morning Star owner, about doing some UK product. I know Paul's been talking to him. I don't know what product he's been talking about making in the UK, but I know for a fact he's been having a conversation with Oggy, so hopefully that is something we can see in the future as well, is some UK, even Endless made product or Asylum made product or something totally new, which should be fun, definitely fun. And the whole thing behind Asylum for me is it's such a product that can be made like into like a cool story, because obviously like the Asylum stuff, you know, the name of it and stuff, you could literally do, you know, even like zombie stuff, or fuck me, Batman comes for the fucking Asylum, doesn't he? So
yeah, but Batman's shit. DC is just blank.
We won't argue about DC and fucking Marvel. We won't do that, Nicky.
We can argue about DC and Marvel.
Because I know you like Dragon Ball Z like me, so that's all right, mate. So we won't get into that. We'll just say Dragon Ball Z is better. But like, there's so much to be played on in the name Asylum, which I think is a really good thing because of the naming of it. And you could have also, and I know Paul's talked about this in the past and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, I think that's a good thing for 2020 is definitely to get some Asylum product out, because we even had people asking in Germany. Remember that geezer that came up, Kevin, Germany, saying about Asylum and stuff.
Rich did tell me.
No, you don't, because you want there. That's why you don't.
Kevin was too busy shuffling his shit that week.
Hopefully Kev's there this year. So
yeah, Richard's already said he's not doing any shows. Kevin can fucking do them.
Yeah, right. He does his told.
Hey. Dave, what about you, mate? What are you looking forward to in 2020? Apart from getting your studio back.
For me, it's Birmingham Expo, mate. Every time. Absolutely love it. As you know, a few, you know, I do a lot of their photo stuff there. And this year I did it a whole lot differently. I did the video on the Friday. Spent Saturday going around some of the vendors who I work with, and then shoot on the afternoon, and then I shot all Sunday. So I had a bit of time to chill out this time and go through a few things. I said, yeah, I absolutely love Birmingham Expo, and I think the only other thing I'm looking forward to is I know Paul spoke once or twice about an RTA. Now I know Paul, when it comes around to Expo time, he's normally got something mad in his pocket. So I'm hoping this year is the year for the endless RTA, but we don't know, do we?
No, we have to wait and see. Hopefully, we'll be able to grill him next week when he's back and see what he has got in the plan. So if anybody wants to watch next week, can, and we'll see if we can grill him next week. Because as I said, he's away for his birthday, but I know he's got a lot of things going on, and I know he's speaking to Augie about that UK stuff.
How can you up your game on the dirt? Yeah, I mean that's to up your game on that, and Paul can do it. We know he can because he's like the Willy Wonka of vaping, ain't he? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd love to see what Paul comes out with next.
Mod-wise, there's only one mod what I'm looking forward to.
What's that? Another billet box?
Nope. Out of Met.
I know what it is.
I know what it is. And I've told Paul this since day one. I'm really looking forward to the Pandemonium.
See, I keep not mentioning that because if I mention it, it's never going to happen.
It will happen. It will happen.
I'm at the point now of next week jumping on my bike and going to go see Chris JB and robbing the fucking prototype off him.
I'm sure Chris JB's got a few as well.
Yeah, he has. I've seen him. I've played with him.
Yeah, because we've had this conversation before. We came to the fact is that mod is definitely one of a kind. And you said it was I don't want to say the cliche word of it's hard, but it was the hardest hitting stainless steel.
Also, it's a lot of innovation into the mech scene. It's not been done before. Obviously, I've seen it. I've took it apart. I know how it works and everything else. So it is good innovation. And on how it performed, obviously, I'm not what I used to be with Blowing Clouds or anything else, but it performed well.
Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. And it, like we were saying when we were playing with the Proto, like the tolerances weren't all there correctly, and it was still fucking hitting like a train. Yeah, it was still. It was still working really
one he
well.
had at Expo.
Oh, the side fire.
Yeah.
The side fire. Yeah, I'm going to need that side fire. Give it 6 months, man. I'm going to need that side fire.
I'd definitely say more Pandemonium for me.
Yeah, I feel like that mod itself is so. It is very much a really, because obviously that design is obviously with Chris JB of
Pandora.
What's Chris's company called? Psychosis Inc. Is it?
Psychosis Inc.
Yeah, Chris's company is Psychosis Inc. Obviously doing it with Chris's initial design, and then Paul tweaked it to whatever to make it a lot better than it was. So I know that because that's been going on 2 years. That mod has.
It has.
2 years, probably nearly 2.5 years. Yeah, two and a bit years. But literally, there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time. Well, what to release it before Christmas?
Came up 2 years on the actual drawings that he released a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's got the side fire. It's got the fucking Pandemonium. It's got the Sherman stuff.
He's got the crater. He's got the halo.
Yeah, there's a lot to be going on with. He's also got the Marta Lung, the Sherman Marta Lung tank.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff there. It's just, as a lot of people know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. It's not cheap because when you get these produced, you can't get them produced in 10s and 20s. You have to get them either produced in hundreds or thousands. Yeah. And you know what I mean? It is what it is. So it's going to take a while for, yeah, 100%. But I agree with Dave on the dirty though. I think if you could make the dirty smaller and still have the options of the batteries.
No, that don't need to be smaller. No, I like that the way it is.
If it was any smaller in your hand, Tom, it'd look like a fucking matchstick.
I've got girly hands, me, mate. I have honestly got dinky girly hands.
That's
It's not
what it needs
that. I feel like for me personally, when I use a stacked mod, right? We know mech mods aren't pocket friendly. We know that it's not an issue about it not being pocket friendly. But I would love to see like a small stacked mod, like a relatively small stacked mod.
There is a stacked 18350 mod out there.
Yeah, but I take 18350s, man. You get fucking 2 fucking pulls out of the bastard.
Not
There's Kev sat on his stack mod with a fucking 1.9 ohm coil and his mouth to lung tank. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see like a cleaner style, but smaller. But how do you make it smaller and still get the batteries to fit in it?
You'd have to take it out of the switch.
Because with the technology right now, the battery tech, everything is going down the route of 21700. 217, for me personally, anybody can disagree with me, but I believe 21700 is now the norm.
Yeah, it is.
It's now not like 2700s came in and everyone were like, meh. I feel like 21700s have now sort of stapled their way into the vaping industry. They are very much a staple battery, and 21700 is definitely the way forward, unless they bring out some fucking.
I agree with
21700.
Why are a lot of these like regulated mod companies not using them as much as I think they should? Because even some of the mods coming out now, they're using them.
I feel like personally, the reason people are still not, there's a lot of mods out there that are 21700. I feel like a lot of mod companies aren't moving over because every vapor you know who has an external battery mod has 18650s. Has them. Everyone who uses an external battery mod has an 18650. It is the norm to have an 18650 and to change over, not just the hobbyist market, but for people who are using the bigger devices, external battery devices, for them to change them over to 21700 is going to take a lot longer. But once again, then in my head, I'm going, well, if you're not going to change anybody over, if you carry on releasing fucking 8650 mods. I just feel like it's not maybe the people are scared, but maybe it's just a bit of a change. It's like I've always had the thought of, why do we use a 510? Why don't we use an 810? Why don't we use a 2010? Why don't we make our own size pins? It's all about safety, more surface area, more safety. Why are we stuck with 510s? Because 510s is on everything. Everything is a 510 thread.
Yeah.
The minute you start putting an 810 thread out, yeah, when you start putting out different threads, people start going, yeah, fuck that. All my mods are fucking 510. Why am I going to go out and get an 810 mod that's going to fit my 810 tank? Everyone's going, small layout. I'm not doing that, small layout. So you get sort of stuck by the consumer, stuck in the same form, when we're trying to say, well, it's safer to use a bigger surface area pin because you've got more surface area. There's less problems of arcing because there's more surface area. It's safer. Well, let's jump into that. The minute a company goes, let's do this and jump into it, I feel like people will follow, but it'll take a long time for them to follow. And that's the issue with the 21700, is people aren't ready to jump to it yet. And they're more expensive than
with what you've just said there, in chat, as you were saying, Ian Anderson, if it's not 21700, no one wants to know. And with what you've just said there, like, you can see all this. Them shelves are full. This shelf's full. I've got drawers full here. And I still tend to, if I have to go out looking for a device, I still tend to look for 18650 for the simple reason is 21700s, I own 2 batteries, which are both in mech tubes at the moment. 18650, I've got 10 there. And I've got about another 30 in this drawer. And that's why I tend to aim for 18650, because I've got bleeding loads of them.
You've got 18650s.
Yeah. kind of
I would
stuck
say
on
it's
me.
just because it's the norm, and it's the norm, and we're
Yeah.
stuck in a way that we've got that access, and we've had that access to 8650s for so long that for people to change over to 21700, it's going to take something for everyone just to go 21700s. But I'll be deadly honest with you, even in my mouth to long all day carry, I only use 21700s. I don't have an 18650 in reach. I just have 21700s.
Yeah.
But
And
do you
that's-
not
and
think
I-
this time in May, like you're going to see more mods dropping with 21700s as when expos and shows pop up, people generally tend to buy new batteries anyway at the shows and stuff like that. So if more mods are available with 21700s, you're going to get more people buying them and start moving the wave over.
It becomes the
slowly like
norm,
that.
Nicky. It comes the norm, but it also then reduces the price in 21700s because 2700s are the most expensive battery out there, but they're expensive to some people. And an 18650 you could pick up for 5, 6 quid,
£4.
4 quid. You're looking at 8 quid for a 21700. So by the time you've bought 6 of the fuckers, you've spent nearly 50 quid.
Yeah.
So that's
The
why
best
people
way-
are sort of.
The best way for them to try and move more people onto 2700 and 21700 is make the mods as 21700, but include the sleeves. And then it's going to ease people into, because they'll get fed up of having 101 sleeves knocking about, and it'll ease them into actually, sod it, I'll just buy 21700s. You know what I mean? But a lot of the Japanese mod companies, you know, these everyday average mods you see on every single shelf in every vape shop, they can't be asked to do the change. You know what I mean? I think that's the only way it'll change over.
It's demand, innit?
Yeah.
It's demand. The demand is 18650. So until they see a massive influx in demand in 21700 devices, they're always going to stick with 18650. Always. But we always sit here as vapors and we always go, battery tech. We want longer lasting batteries. We want this in batteries. We want that in batteries. The minute they come on the market, people don't they'll carry on knowing the same thing they're doing. The tech is there. 21700s are beastly batteries. They're really good batteries. They last for fucking ever, and they're good on fucking amperates. So fucking get them used. And to say that there's not enough mods out there using 21700, I feel like nobody can say that because there is plenty out there, regulated devices and mech devices.
I mean,
so if you've never,
I'll be honest with you. This is probably the first even you guys have heard. There's been an idea brewing with me for the past 2-3 years, and we're at the stage where everything's drawn up, and at the moment there's a bit of a hold between the drawing and the actual making of the idea. And this was an argument I went through in my head: 18650 or 21700. So in the end, because it's not a mechanical what we're planning on looking at, we've gone for an internal LiPo. For the simple reason is it saves the argument with the batteries, and the battery life's going to be longer. Yeah, and that's why the plan. What we've got doing is going down that road, because the simple reason is the argument with the batteries.
I feel like with external lipos, and I don't know how you boys feel, but for me personally, an internal lipo has a life. Once that internal, unless you can get into the mod and change the lipo, once that mod's done, it's done.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
With an external battery, you've got more of rotation. When a battery's dead, bin it, you buy another one, goes back in the mod. You're obviously always going to have a lifeline on electrical goods, whether it's vaping or it's a fucking fridge. You're always going to have that lifeline, but it's all about easy access. The next thing about people who don't use external batteries and prefer an internal battery is because it's easy to charge. I ain't got to carry around batteries. I ain't got to buy a charger. So there's pros and cons to it all, but I feel like if you're, as a vapor, we all have to be prepared. My batteries are sat on charge right now this minute because I know for a fact I'm going to need a battery shortly. But if people, day-to-day vapors, when the vape runs out, they'll whack it on charge. It's not like they're already charging it before it goes off. But you've got a fucking mobile phone that you'll sit fucking next to charging, but you won't charge your fucking vape.
Yeah.
It's all about how lazy you are.
One of the things we have looked at is being able to change the LiPo, where you'd be able to do it yourself. It'd be quite easy to do. And that's why we've looked at a LiPo, because the battery life is longer. You're going to get more hours in use, but then there will be a way where you'll be able to change the LiPo quite easily as well. You know, it's going to be like a big job where you're going to really need to have a science degree. You know, it's going to be quite simple. But again, it goes back to the argument of who and what battery.
Yeah, all I want to know is what the fuck is Neil Pugsley doing with 218 650s? What the
He works in a shop.
fuck?
Have you seen Neil's?
Yeah, but who
work? He's
needs
got that one where
200?
it's like 64 fucking batteries in a DeWalt case.
How the fuck do you charge 200 fucking 18 650s?
Well, obviously, you don't charge them all at the same time, do you?
Depends, mate. It depends how many charges you want. It's that simple. You can fucking light up your house with that bastard batteries.
Yeah.
And going back to what Ian's saying, I do tend to find a lot of people will have 18650 batteries, and this outlay to upgrade to 21700 is more expensive, which, yeah, we've come to that conclusion that it's a little bit more expensive, but I massively don't think it's hugely expensive. But I have a lot of more people asking for 21700 battery mods than ever, regardless of what battery they already have. Plus, on the mech front, I see the elite mech heads now want 21700. Oh, fuck all.
Yeah.
I feel like mech's definitely got 100% down the 21700 run. 100%. But then once again, it's down to getting that power out of the battery. And the best battery on the market currently is the 21700. But I always go back to VCT 5As. You can never knock a VCT 5A.
That is correct.
It's like reliability. You can't knock it. You can't knock it. You can't knock a VCT 5A.
You can 20Ss.
What in what sense though? VCT 5A for reliability or 20Ss for mech?
Or mech.
But then I'd trump your fucking 20S with a 21700. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the best battery on the market to purchase? And it has to be a 21700. It's simple as that. The best battery on the market is a 21700.
Fucking Duracell, because they're always going blasted up in price.
Fucking Duracell.
You always know when fucking all single mums at school had a fucking good Christmas because they're all buzzing.
Eight bays for days. Fucking telling you, 8 bays for fucking days.
Now I need a fucking 10 bay charger or more.
It's fucking crazy. So, what we need to do now is, I want to ask chat this as well, and you boys can do it as well. Obviously, 2020 is going to be the new sort of, we're going to be having the cloud comps on the stage. We're possibly going to have Endless Banter on the stage at Expo. We need some new ideas for shows that we need to do on the stage. And I'm going to put this to chat. What do you think we should do in the new year? Nikki, don't come up with, oh, fucking crazy that someone's going to get offended by. Please. What do we think would, not necessarily a funny, obviously it has to have some sort of comedy to it, because obviously we do get a lot of giggles, a lot of laughs, and it's about people. Right. Let me just rephrase it. When we do the stuff on the stage at Expo, like the Onions, like the geezer running down the red carpet in his boxers, I've had people on numerous occasions that do not have a clue who I am, do not know what I do, who I am, anything, and they literally say, "You're the geezer that made that kid run down the fucking red carpet in his boxer shorts," right? And memories to me about the shows is one of the biggest things that I remember that show in particular, because this happened, that happened, this, the other. What could we do that may bring sort of the Expo community together to get people on the stage? Not the people who are just going free shit, free shit, free shit. What do you feel like we could do to get a lot more people around the stage and get involved with sort of doing something? Kevin, I won't start with you, mate, because I see you sat there thinking your head off again, going, "Don't pick me, don't pick me." So, Nikki, don't offend anyone, but what do you think we should do to sort of get like the community around the stage and get them involved? And what's something different we could do that we've not done before?
Have a fucking fancy dress party. The one with the gayest costume wins. Could be as a Lego rainbow for all I care, but
Don't offend anyone. The gayest costume. I actually like the idea of fucking like that. Best dressed, like fancy dress, best dressed.
you could always do like the most obscure cloud competition. Like have the guys dress up as women and then have fucking women and like have the women dressed up as fucking anti like promo girl just to make it a bit more fun. Let's be honest, you'd rather talk and spend 10 minutes talking to someone that obviously, yes, they've made a bit of an effort, but they've not gone with the fucking arse hanging out and the tits hanging out. Because you're more drawn to them.
Fancy dress would be cool. I honestly think fancy dress would be cool, but then it means I have to get Kev dressed up.
I
like the idea of I like that idea of doing like best dressed, like fancy dress, not best dressed, fancy dress.
We'll dress Kev up as Disco.
Get him a man bag.
Yates has just said Rocky Horror Cloud Comp. That sounds wicked.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. I feel like we should do something crazy.
You never know. If I'm like on the stand, I might dress up as a woman just for the fun of it. I've done it before. I don't care.
I think we should do something like that. I don't know.
That comment of Sam Yates actually got my head rolling now. A couple of years ago, we went
different.
Yeah, we went to a tattoo convention which was based on a freak show, and they had this little dwarf who got in this little cage and stapled shit to his head, and people eating glass and everything. You imagine expo like
Friday night?
Depends where you are, mate. But yeah, like sword swallowers and everything. You imagine that? Crazy. So, who in chat is going to swallow a sword then?
If you say there's a 10-year-old bottle of juice, I'm sure someone will do it.
Come on, Kev. You've something on your mind. So come on, Kev. There's something on your lips.
Thinking. I'd definitely go with, obviously, like the fancy dress theme is a good idea. It's something what everyone can take part in. But also something a bit more challenging, what can put people's brain to the test and do it as an over weekend thing sort of thing. So you do the Friday, Saturday and Sunday where they enter it on the Friday, but they're there all weekend. So it leads up to a bigger prize as such on Sunday.
Maybe like dressing up as your favourite device.
No, just a challenge of, I don't know what sort of challenge you do, but just something a bit more technical to it. Just so it's not just a quick 5 minutes on the stage. There's more of a challenge through the weekend.
Like you've got to collect things. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like a treasure hunt.
Yeah. So
maybe
obviously,
you could dot stuff around and what do they call them in photos? Kinder eggs or whatever. What do they call them in golden eggs or whatever in photos?
Yeah.
What do they call them, Dave?
Easter eggs.
They call them Easter eggs.
Yeah, if you Google Easter eggs, there's loads. Easter egg in the internet term means something hidden within something.
Yeah.
I mean, like the barrel roll with Google and stuff like that. Typing barrel roll, hit enter, the screen all spinning, all that type of shit. It's all Easter eggs based around Easter egg hunting. So yeah, that is a good idea.
You could do it also up to the lead up to Expo as well. Obviously.
Bye, Kevin.
Oh, goodbye, Kevin. Halfway through his sentence.
Well, halfway through what Kev was saying, I mean, you could even get a couple of like the bigger companies involved, like Shady, like Evolution, stuff like that. Have some of the Easter eggs based in shops, based in, I think
based
Kevin's
on
something
certain
there, to be honest.
advertisements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Post online and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think he's on something there.
Yeah, we're just complimenting you there, Kev, when you left us halfway through your conversation.
Yeah, I do apologise. My internet decided that it was going to shit a brick. But yeah, obviously coming up to the show where I think I caught Dave potentially saying last bit of it in shops, get a lot of shops to take part where they pick a ticket up, like golden tickets, like the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, where you get a ticket from a shop, you then get the option to go up on stage. That sort of
thing, Kev. Definitely that sort of thing, mate. No, I honestly think it's going to a cracker there. I quite like that. Like a treasure hunt with inside the expo would be pretty cool.
Really, it's just Kev swiping left on Tinder, isn't it?
Probably.
I mean, you can even get to the extent of actually hiding them inside the shops. You know, the only people who'll know is the people who are actively involved on social media, because they'll be the ones to find out. You know, they'll be given a rough guess of what it is and whereabouts it is, but it's down to them to find it. He's on to a good one.
Yeah, you're on to a good one there, Kev.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we like that one. So what I'll do is, Dave, before you give me yours, which you've sort of elaborated on, Kev's, what I'll do is I'll put a post up on the Endless Mods page, and whoever comes up with the best idea for stuff we can do, I'll give away some free tickets for London. We'll put up a bit of a funny post to see what we're thinking. I think Kev's idea is fucking cracking, so Kev, I'll give you a ticket anyway, mate.
Cheers. To be fair, Tom, I think I'm bending.
It might probably more than likely, mate. Yeah, I want to put up a post on that page. We will get some good ideas on there, see what we can do, see what you guys think about the ideas we've discussed on this show. And then we'll give some tickets away for that. I'm sure Phil's probably in the chat or listening somewhere. And yeah, I'll give some tickets away. So
I've also got another one for you, Tom, leading on to similar to what I was saying, where if a lot of people go to all the expos, so potentially with Vapor Expo UK, as you've got the one in London and the Saturn in Birmingham, where maybe you go to get a few companies together and do similar sort of thing, but have a big prize for everyone who's been to each of the shows. A sort of elite sort of thing. So obviously the final year or the final show of the year, it could be a big reveal to one lucky winner who's been to every show will get next year's passes for free or whatever, or so, and it's like 3-day passes or whatever. It just obviously it depends on what they can do themselves, but it's all the lead up, because obviously a lot of people pay a lot of money for tickets, and if they've got the option where next year where they can go to Expo, they can go to all the Vapor Expo UK expos, and it's not going to cost them any money. I think a lot of people would be interested with it.
Yeah. No, but I know I agree with that. I like that. Maybe that's something we also discussed with the Expo doing as well. I think that's a pretty cool idea, if I'm honest. So I think we'll wrap up the show here. I said we weren't going to do the full 2 hours, get a little bit of showing. Paul will be back next week. I'm not going to do status of the week because I just want to wish Paul a massive happy birthday. Paul, as I say, is out with the family this evening. That's why he's not joined us on the show. Thank you to everybody who's joined us this evening. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Nikki. Thank you to Kev. Always appreciated you guys jumping on with us. And we'll be back next week. It's been an hour and 35 minutes, so we'll get off. And guys, we'll see you next week. Take it easy. Thank you. Peace out.
See you later.
In a bit.